We are very quickly approaching the biggest sneaker month of the entire year. I'm talking about the month of November. Listen, it is stacked with so many sneaker releases, and a lot of them are literally the most hyped up sneakers of the entire year. Of course, it is my job to keep you guys up to date and make sure you know when all of these sneakers are going to be dropping, and that's what we do here every single week. So if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, chuck me a follow on Instagram, and let's head into today's video. We gotta start off with a release recap. Quickly just go over the stuff that dropped and let me know if you guys managed to pick up any of these. The first one we're going to talk about is the Yeezy 350 V2 Soul. These dropped yesterday on Saturday, and I feel like it was a relatively calm release. I feel like anybody who bought the slates last month are kind of looking at these like, do I really need them? Probably not. But I will say, for anybody who was on the market for a new pair of 350s and picked this up, I think it's a solid colorway. We also had another release which was a little bit random. I'm not entirely sure how many retailers actually stocked this, but it's the New Balance Joe Freshgoods 993 Performance Art. My favorite was the blue colorway. I entered a couple raffles and I struck out. Obviously, these things are very limited. Either way, that's it for the recap. We've got a lot of super exciting stuff which I cannot wait to tell you guys, so let's just jump into the upcoming news, and we're going to kick it off with the upcoming New Balance 990 V6, and we have a release date. These are going to be dropping on November the 4th, and I think it's a pretty big deal for anybody who's like a fan of New Balance sneakers, like the next generation in the 990 silhouette line. I don't think they're going to sell out. I feel like it's going to be a very easily accessible pair of shoes, just like the 990 V5, but I do think that these are going to be in high demand. I definitely want to check them out and see how comfortable they are and how they kind of stack up to the 990 V5 as well. I've also got some official images of the upcoming Soulgoods Nike SB Dunk High. We have spoke about these things in the past. We don't even have a release date. It's literally just the official images, so it gives us a closer look at what this sneaker is actually going to look like. Usually once the official images come out, these are going to be dropping right around the corner. And we need to talk about one of the bigger things that happened this week. Yeezy Gap. They restocked the perfect hoodie. Take a look at this here. I'm currently on the Yeezy Gap website, and they dropped these worldwide. Now, currently there's only some select sizes that are still available, like a extra small. I think small is sold out. A lot of the sizes are sold out because, guys, literally they loaded up at a discount price. This is something like, if you watch my vlog from yesterday, I spoke about this. It's pretty wild because I think this is such a solid hoodie, and if you can get it for a discount, it's probably one of the best hoodies at that price point. I got 5 different hoodies because I got some for like my brother and his girlfriend, and of course I got myself a couple different colorways as well. Not only are they discounted on the website, but you can also get an additional 20% off. And when I said this on my Instagram and when I said this on my YouTube video, people were flooding the comments like, yo, where is this discount? What is this 20% off? Well, listen, it's not a discount from me. This is Yeezy and Gap offering this discount. So what you have to do, and this is the last time I'm going to tell you guys, you have to go to a private browser and you have to sign up to their newsletter. It works out £56 for one of these hoodies shipped. I'm on Safari. I'm going private window. Once you type in their website, and as soon as it loads up with your shipping region, quickly X out this, sign up for updates, and get 20% off. That's all you have to do. Put your email address in and they will email you a code. Either way, just wanted to let you guys know this is a steal, and hopefully you managed to cop. Today's video is sponsored by Represent, and I've teamed up with them to show you some of the insane pieces from their latest collection. One of their latest drops was the Graphics Restock, which I was super hyped about. I got this vintage black pure breed hoodie, which I think is now the coolest hoodie I own. I'm wearing a size small for reference. I'm about 5'8" to 5'9", 75 kilos, and I actually sized down for a tighter cropped look, but I would definitely recommend sticking with your true to size for a regular oversized look. I also got the Terrier Tension hoodie, again in vintage black. Now, if you're into blanks, they recently dropped one of the coolest colorways as part of their fall range called Plum. Now, up top for the hoodie, I went for a size small again, and the same thing for the joggers because typically I'm a 30 waist. Now, I gotta say, one of my favorite pieces has to be part of their new fall winter 22 collection, which is this racing green varsity jacket. Guys, the details and quality on this jacket is just insane. In terms of sizing for this one, I'm currently wearing a size small, and again, I went for that more cropped look, but I would say definitely stick with your true to size for a regular looking fit. I've been a huge fan of Represent for the longest time, so getting the opportunity to work with them and show you guys some of their latest pieces is a perfect match. And trust me when I say you're going to be getting some of the best quality pieces that you've ever owned. Now, if you want to check out their new range, whether it's fall winter 22, graphics, or blanks, check the links down in the description. I'll have everything laid out as well as some sizing information. Thanks once again to Represent for sponsoring today's video, but let's get back to it. So, Adidas and Pharrell, they've been been doing a couple interesting things recently. Now they've got a new upcoming sneaker, which actually looks pretty cool. So take a look at this here. We've got the first images of the upcoming Pharrell NMD S1 hue, and this really kind of redesigns the upper, but keeps the midsole the same. All over like this knitted, maybe burlap type of material. Tan upper, and then of course you have the human race logo on the side, just in text. And then you've got this blue, like diagonal line splitting the color. According to House of Heat, we don't have a specific release date, just apparently it says September 2022, but obviously that's already come and gone. We haven't seen this yet, so I would expect these very, very soon. Okay guys, we have reached the point. We've got to talk about probably the biggest sneaker release of this year that people just cannot stop talking about. There's so much debate over the release of this sneaker, and of course, I'm talking about the Jordan 1 Lost and Found. So I saw this picture and it really got me thinking. Take a look at this here. This is a picture basically just saying Lost and Founds are already getting backdoored, and man, it is hard to see. It is hard to look at this. I mean, there is a lot of images here of people just with hundreds of pairs of the Lost and Found Air Jordan 1. I feel like we're kind of in a bubble of just everyone hyping this sneaker up so much. They're like, yo, sneaker of the year. This is the most, like, you know, we're finally getting another Chicago colorway. The real issue is the retailers that end up backdooring the sneakers, because as you can see, they get hundreds to sometimes probably thousands of pairs, and they kind of hold the precedent of how much these things are going to go for on the aftermarket. I don't know if I would necessarily get my hopes down for this pair of shoes. I think I still have hope that these things are not going to be too crazy on the aftermarket. I feel like we're going to see a pretty hefty decline in the price. Currently, the price for these things is very, very high. So it is something that we kind of look at that price and we're like, holy, this is going to be a messy release and we are never going to get a pair for retail. But I feel like once the release happens, there's going to be a lot of pairs circulating and hopefully a lot of people get some retail W's. And I think that that will definitely bring the price down. I feel like if those stock numbers are correct, we should have a decent chance at getting these things. And if we take an L, hopefully the price isn't too bad on the aftermarket. Let's keep it moving to another kind of stock rumor that we've heard, and of course this is about another one of the most hyped up sneakers this year, Travis Scott Black Phantom Jordan 1. So take a look at this here. We've got a report that these apparently are going to have 200,000 pairs in stock when they do release. So again, another speculation on freaking stock numbers, which again, we never really know. We never really feel the effect of. If this stock number is correct, these are going to be the highest stocked pairs of Travis Scott sneakers, I think, of all time. I mean, 200,000 pairs for a collaboration in general is huge. Might just show that Nike is trying to get a better, I guess, reputation in terms of availability for their sneakers. Is it still going to resell 100%? Is it still going to be hyped? For sure, but is it going to be the most hyped? I don't think so by any means. All I know is there's going to be an apparel line. Apparently, these are going to be dropping on December the 15th. Knowing that this is the second to last Jordan 1 Travis Scott collaboration ever, hopefully a decent amount of us get some W's. Either way, let's keep it moving from the rumors and let's talk about a very hyped up upcoming release, which is the Midnight Navy Jordan 4. So I just kind of want to let you guys know that these are going to be dropping on October the 29th. There is a review of these up on the channel if you do want to go and check it out. There is already raffles that have been loaded up. So End Clothing has a raffle, Sneakers and Stuff has a raffle. These should be loading up on Nike sneakers if they're not already out in the US, but let's keep it moving. Okay, this next one is actually something that I think a lot of people are pretty excited about, and we literally just got fresh, crispy, new official images. Take a look at this here. The Jordan 1 High 85 black and white. I feel like they should have busted this colorway out a while ago. I really, really like this one. It might be my, I know it's crazy to say because it is just black and white, but it's probably going to be my favorite High 85 that's dropped recently. Georgetown's are very clean, but I think this one has to take the cake for me. Either way, you are looking at very early official images because these things don't even drop till next year. In fact, the official release date for these is going to be February 2023. Jjjjound and New Balance are teaming up once again for the trillionth time, and they're going to be dropping an upcoming 991 this December. Take a look at this here. We've got some early images or some first looks, which are the shoe unlaced. This 991 is definitely nice. It's definitely clean, but nothing incredibly exciting. We got first looks at the upcoming Lucky Green Air Jordan 2, and these are going to be releasing in 2023, so we are not going to spend too much time, but we actually have a release date apparently. This is the sneaker here. I definitely don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a terrible colorway. In fact, it's actually pretty solid as far as Jordan 2s goes. It's not going to be anything that I'm incredibly hyped about. Again, it's a Jordan 2, not my favorite Jordan silhouette by any means, but apparently the release date of these is going to be the 3rd of February next year, 2023. To add to the already stacked month of November, we've got a Yeezy restock, which is pretty left field, I think. This is it here, the 700 V2 Tephra. I can't remember, did these restock on Yeezy Day? Either way, they're going to have a release this November. We don't have a specific release date, but for anybody who was after this pair, never managed to get a pair, now's your chance to grab up a pair. I feel like Adidas is looking around in their warehouse and they're like, what do we have left? Let's get it out there and release it so we can get this stock on. A great colorway, a solid sneaker, one that I'm a huge fan of. So yeah, I might even try and pick this colorway up. All right, we've actually got two pretty massive releases right around the corner. Again, this is in November, so trust me guys, when I say November is stacked, it is freaking stacked. And it's going to be probably the most expensive Nike Dunks that are out there in terms of GR colorways. They're actually restocking. So the first one is the OG Syracuse Nike Dunk Low is returning on November the 1st. So originally this colorway dropped at kind of like the beginning of the huge Nike Dunk resurgence, and as we know, when they released, they ended up reselling for a ridiculous amount of money. They were reselling for like, I think £400-500 here in the UK. So yeah, this is definitely a colorway that people are definitely going to be after. Trust me, I think it's happening on Nike sneakers. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's happening worldwide, so definitely check your Nike sneakers app. Now, this is not the only colorway that is going to be restocking. The Kentuckies is also going to be restocking as well. Same date, November the 1st. Just keep in mind, I believe these are both going to have, I guess, the normal Nike Dunk material. So the original material that was used on these sneakers, I think, was a lot better than what they're using currently. And I think the new material will definitely be the trashy Dunk leather that we've seen recently. Sticking with Dunks, a pair of collaboration Dunks, which I've spoke about a lot, something that I've said I am extremely hyped about, probably one of the coolest Dunks that's dropping this year, and that is the Huff and Nike collaboration on the 3 different colorways, but I think 2 of them are the main ones that are going to be dropping, the New York colorway and the San Francisco colorway. So as of right now, there has been a release which was through the Huff NYC, San Francisco and LA stores, which was on October the 18th, and that was done through a raffle. But there is going to be another release, which is going to be the international release, which is what month do you guess that's happening? Of course, it's happening in November, like everything else. Sticking with Dunks, here's a little small piece of news which I just thought was pretty interesting. Apparently, according to Soul Retriever, the Nike Dunk Mid is coming back in 2023, and it's gonna be strapless. I assume it's gonna have a similar run how Nike does it. You know, they do a bunch of collaborations, and then they pump out the GR colorways. Now, Adidas and Bad Bunny just did a collaboration on my favorite colorway of the Bad Bunny forum. Remember that icy blue one? Well, I may have spoken too quickly because there's a newer colorway which is coming out that's definitely going to be my favorite. Take a look at this here. We have the all over white or kind of like platinum colorway. As far as like a release date or anything on this pair, we don't have like any information. All we've just seen it on foot by this person. I'm not even entirely sure who she is. Of course, I will keep you guys updated as soon as we find out a release date. Let's get into the latest Ye update, the Kanye West update. We've got a couple different stories which I think is pretty crazy. So the first story that which I wanted to talk about is the fact that Balenciaga has officially parted ways with Ye. This is something that I spoke about previously, where I kind of mentioned that Balenciaga took the Yeezy Gap collaboration off of their website. Well, they also removed Kanye from the runway pictures. If you guys remember, they had an image on their website of Kanye who walked in their fashion show. They removed that. I think it's kind of like a chain reaction. You know, Balenciaga does it. I'm sure Gap to some degree, all of these people people who have contracts with Kanye are now kind of trying to take a step back, and that's kind of what it seems like. Pretty much like I was saying, the Yeezy Gap website is the only place that now stocks the Yeezy Gap collaboration, and I think as soon as that sells out, that is it. The collaboration is done and there is no more from that, you know, partnership. Now, in even more interesting news, Kanye West reportedly plans to build a mini city called the Yeecosystem. This is crazy. Of course, Kanye West would come up with something like this. It sounds insane. So essentially, what the Yeecosystem is gonna be is it's described as a self-sustained enterprise that would have its own branded products and services. The trademark application detailed plans for not just one community, but several mini cities located across the United States. And Ye is aiming to launch the first city next year. Among the names Ye has filed to trademark are Yeezyverse, Yeezyverse with an X, and Yeezyverse fully spelled out. So essentially Yeezyverse. I'm sure that's going to be some kind of like online metaverse type of thing. Mini city by Kanye West. I think that's a huge undertaking, but yeah, just thought I had to mention that. And for the final story for today, trust me, I left the wildest story for last, and it's crazy. You can buy hyped sneakers for your horse now. That is right, guys. I'm sure there's a bunch of hype beasts who are out here riding horses and also want to drip them out too. So this is a new company called Horse Kicks, and they are literally making sneakers for horses. So I believe this is the Fragment collaboration. They've got Court Purple Jordan 1s. They've got the New Balance 550. I've seen like a couple different other models that they've got for this. Now, each shoe is going to be custom made. So literally, I don't know whether they source like the real materials of the shoes, like whether they break down an actual pair of Jordan 1 Fragments, for example, and then create it into a horseshoe. They're trying to get $1,200 for a pair of these horseshoes, or I guess 4 of them, because you need 4 of them, right? But yeah, let me know if you got a horse, would you potentially want to get it some hyped up kicks? Either way, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Like always, thank you so much for coming through and hanging out with me for yet again another video. Thank you for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then.